Hello, it is Dr. Askkrystalracquel and I'm back again with another video for today. I hope you all are doing amazingly. I would like you all to like, comment, and subscribe if you are interested in my content, and feel free to send me an email at askkrystalracquel@gmail.com. I've also placed it down in the description box. I do have an interesting topic for today. It's regarding the wisdom of people who are older. And I wanted to talk about this because what I'm finding, or what I see online, is that sometimes people are starting to feel really comfortable speaking negatively about older people, whether it's women, men, black, white, Hispanic, whatever. I'm noticing that a lot of younger people are starting to be really comfortable talking about older people. It's very important that we have to be careful with that. I'm not saying older people are always right. And I'm not saying older people can't do some really horrible things and they will experience consequences because of that. What I'm saying is just the way that I'm seeing younger people mock older people is not okay. So I want to go into a little bit, back to the Bible talks about the first commandment is honor your mother and father, or honor your parents, honor your mother and father, so that your days may be long on the earth and that all will go well with you. So it's very important for us to hold a certain respect for people who are older than us. And I'm not saying that we're going to disregard people who do bad things, that we're going to disregard what they do and act like it's okay. But what I'm saying is, I don't know, everyone has a different culture, but I was raised in a Caribbean household, and I know also in African homes that, like, your sibling, when they're older than you, there's always something about respect, right? If your older sibling tells you something, sometimes you have to listen to them, or your older sibling is given a little bit more responsibility, and you have to recognize, hey, you most likely would not be here if it weren't for your sibling who came before you. And I think that's how we have to look at older people, whether we're related to them or not. The Bible also talks about how, you shouldn't be trying to rebuke older people in a harsh manner. You should be trying to exhort them in the way that you would do if they were your own father or mother. And in my household as well, respect is always a really big factor. So any family member or adult teacher, we were always taught to really respect them because they're older than us, and it will be very difficult for us to openly disrespect someone who's way older than us, because in our minds we understand that older people have been on this earth for much longer. And I'm not saying that you can't be wise when you're a younger person. God can certainly give you that gift of wisdom, but wisdom in this world, when it's not something that's been given to you by God, wisdom comes from your experiences and what you've been through. And typically what we would expect is if you've been through a lot more situations, then you've been able to learn from those situations. So that's really important. So not all people who are older have learned from their mistakes, but even if they haven't learned from their mistakes to apply them to themselves, sometimes their mistakes and what they've been through, they're able to advise you correctly. And even if you, even with me and maybe someone who's a family member who might be younger than me, maybe who has not been through similar things that I've been through, if I've been through something, I can then advise that person what they should do so that they don't make the decision I made, or that they can make a better decision than what I made. But just in terms of people who are older, I'm noticing that people are becoming very comfortable talking so poorly about older people. Even the current president, I'm not much into politics at all. I'm always on the side of Jesus, which, not saying it's a bad thing, it's definitely a good thing, but it may be a bad thing in terms of me not maybe doing my civic duty and going to vote every year that there's an election like I should. But just to see that the way that people have spoken about the president and mocking him, when he's done so much. He has so many years. I don't know his exact age. If someone knows his age, put it down below. That man is an older man. He's done a lot. He's accomplished a lot. And for him to get to become a president, and for him to even be leading the country at that age, of course, you know, once you get older, sometimes it's difficult for you to have all of your faculties. But I wouldn't be surprised if the way he is as a president now, I wouldn't be surprised if he started to decline because he was the president, because that is a difficult job. But this is not about the president. This is just in general about what I'm noticing in the country, and it wasn't even about him. It just came to me as I was speaking, like what I've seen. We're not to really mock older people. I would be so blessed if I could reach 80, if I could reach 90, 100 years old. And it's very important that we put out the same energy, the same actions that we would like to be done to us. I know when I'm 80, 90 years old, based on everything I've accomplished in my life, I would like to get respect and be honored. And I certainly would not like somebody to be mocking me at that age. And remember, when you're older, you're not as strong. You know, how dishonoring it is to treat someone who's been on this earth for so long in that manner. And some of you may be saying to yourself, well, you know, if an older person's wrong, I'm gonna let them know. That is okay. You can let someone know how you feel with respect. You never want to like dishonor people who are much older than you. And yeah, you can tell people how you feel, but not to the point where you're going to be saying nasty things about them, start being disrespectful, telling them that they don't know anything, like what we've heard that people do about older people. Sometimes you'll hear certain ladies online saying, oh yeah, we're not like those women from back then. We're not going to tolerate that. We weren't raised and brainwashed with that religious mindset that tells us that we need to stick around if this is done to us. Yeah. Or I'll watch a video compilation and there'll be a woman commenting saying, oh yeah, that lady's only saying that because of her age, things like that. Maybe I didn't articulate that well, but you probably get the gist of what I'm saying. I see a lot of people discounting people because of their age. So we have to be really careful of that. Be mindful. You are going to be that age one day. I'm sure when we're young, I don't know what everyone's age is, but I recall when I was like in my early 20s, I was like 19, 20, and I remember I went over, let's say I was taking the bus or the train somewhere, because I was living in a major city, and I remember going up to the windows trying to ask a lady a question, the lady who worked there, and she was just, her appearance towards me, I remember it being so rude and so nasty, and I immediately knew in myself that she was treating me that way because of my age. And I recall later on, like once I got a little bit older, maybe in my later 20s, I did not receive that type of treatment. So I think you have to be careful on all ends, right? Treat people with respect. And I'm sure as a young person, you don't like when older people treat you like you know nothing because of your age, because it's not true, right? However, an older person typically, we hope, is going to have more wisdom. So I would even say, if you have your grandparents around, try to glean as much information as you can from them. Try to hear from them, because once that generation is gone, once those people are not gone to tell you their experiences and their stories, there is really not much else. You know, it's going to be really hard for you to continue to get that wisdom if you don't get it now. So just be mindful of how you're treating people. You know, you could be a son and maybe you've had bad experiences with your mother. It's okay, you can talk to her about it, but you definitely do not want it to end up being where you're cussing her out, speaking bad to her. And I will say, when it comes to family, sometimes respect and honor is not talking to that person. That person's disrespecting you. You try to speak to them and they're not hearing you out. Sometimes the best thing you can do, rather than engage in with them and potentially say something disrespectful, it's best to honor them by removing yourself from the situation, maybe temporarily, maybe permanently. And that in itself, especially if that other person is very wrong with what they're saying and how they're treating you, that in itself is respect and honor by refusing to engage. I hope you enjoyed this content. Let me know what you think about this. If you're also seeing a trend of younger people could be 20, younger people could be 35 like me, of younger people disrespecting people who are older, and what you think about that. So have a wonderful, blessed day. Take care. Bye.